Hello, West Michigan. This is Grand Tap Media Business TV. My name is Pamela Keim, your host. The spirit of the show is to introduce West Michigan to all the businesses, nonprofit, and leaders that can help us thrive in our lives. We are inside WCET studio today, and I have a very special guest for you today. If you have a child that is kind of struggling maybe, or is kind of bored with their regular classroom, we might have a program for them to try. I want to welcome Ryan Graham from Kent Skills, but now it's called
Kent Career Tech Center.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I grew up. I mean, it's dating me, right? Kent Skills Centers. For some of us that are watching the show, like I remember that. But I wanted to have you on the show because to be honest, I was one of those students that didn't do well in the classroom, and I wish somebody would have. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe because I was female. You know, I wish there would have been somebody that would have sat down and said, you know, have you ever thought about going to Kent Career Center, Kent Skills Center, and maybe there would have been something I could have tapped in on that would have helped me early in my life to succeed.
Without a doubt. We have a great deal of hands-on lab activities that I think really appeal to a lot of our young men and women that come to our facility. We have nearly 2,500 students that come out our way.
So let's talk about you. It's at Kent Career. You're the principal.
I am.
The principal here today, folks. And then what got you into this? And and I want to know what's new at Kent Career. So talk about that a little bit.
So my background is I've been a teacher. I've been an assistant principal. I've been a principal. So I started teaching at Lowell High School, which was where I was born and raised.
Okay.
I taught there for 5 years, had the chance to become an assistant principal at East Kentwood's freshman campus, and then was the principal at Duncan Lake Middle School in Caledonia, and then had this opportunity to blend a lot of the great education in K-12 with career tech education. So Kent Career Tech Center is what you call a career tech education center, and those are across the state, and they're run by the state government, if you will, for the Michigan Education Department. So that's the Office of Career Tech Education.
So it's giving people, students, an opportunity to gain a skill that may not want to be a 4.0, or they're not college bound. They can get those jobs are paying fortunes now.
They are. So they are. So you have the wide range. We have students, and our slogan is real life, real learning. And we also want our students to be career ready and/or college ready. We have students in our facility right now that are earning college credits to go to Ferris, let's say for graphics, or for 3D animation and design. So we have students that have chosen maybe their path. So they might not know, or some have chosen their path. And so for those that have chosen their path, it can be a very quick line to get a lot of college credit, a great deal of hands-on experience. Our kids are up to industry standards. We have business and industry partners that we partner with all throughout our facility and throughout our programs. That way we're up to date. So when we're teaching you about an activity or a business, we don't want it to be antiquated. We want it to be up to date so you can hit the ground running and really, like you said, earn a good livable wage that you can have a career in.
Well, I like to say, people that have, I will tell you, 3 of my children went to college, and what they're paying in the heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, all those mechanics, they're making phenomenal money because there's not that, we kind of got away from that, right? Share a little bit that we were pushing our kids to go to universities instead of doing what they should have been doing here.
Yeah, there was a time, and I was part of that generation, you know, graduating in 1996, where it was very hyper-focused on college, and not a bad choice, right? We really value education. I would argue that West Michigan really values education.
We have lots of colleges
across its whole, right? And we have a lot of great school districts in Kent County. And we serve all those school districts at Kent Career Tech Center, and we're very proud of that. But to your point, it's not college or nothing. It's college and skills that can take you down the trail that leads you to a really good, healthy lifestyle, or a good position that you can provide for yourself or for a family. And having those skills, whether it's college skills or whether it's training skills or mechanical skills or the skills needed to be in the industry, that's where it is. I became a teacher. I needed college to get those skills.
Absolutely.
And so for others, their path might need to be that they build the skills from us, they go get training at other institutions, or they learn on the job, such as HVAC, and get those additional air conditioning skills, and now they can make more money as they go, just like other careers.
Well, and that's what I thought Kent Skill Centers basically was like the heating and cooling, and what was it? What, the heating and cooling and then plumbing and all that kind of stuff, that welding thing, and mechanics. What is it like, really? I mean, what's out now? You guys are the whole computer industry.
Yeah.
You have well, you guys are known for the baking. People moving into Grand Rapids, CC under, you know, it used to be Angus, right? They used to run that. I don't know if he still does.
I don't know,
but you know, going right into being a chef.
Yeah. So I want to speak to two audiences. You have our Kent Skills past, if you will. Which was very HVAC, mechanically driven in that sense. And there were other programs as well. We still have a great deal of those programs. You also have an additional, we're well over 20 plus programs now. So it can range from IT. One of our larger wings is our health wing with Spectrum, Metro, Mercy, all of the great institutions that serve for health in this area. That is one of our largest employers. So we have a great deal of young men and women that are heading CNA, nurse tech, medical assistants,
so that's
biomed.
Still really popular? It's very
huge.
much a need?
It's huge.
Okay.
And so it's, when you look at our area, the need for that supply and demand is there. So we have a great deal of those kids. We have diesel tech. We have auto collision. We have auto tech. Which is part of that. We have our culinary program, which is culinary, hospitality, and baking. You have some choices after year one to go full culinary or to go into baking. We have HVAC, as you represented.
That's right.
We have architectural engineering. You name it, we probably have it on some level.
Some of these levels, some of these you still have to, if your child, and this was the situation I had to discuss with people too when I was there. Okay, my child still has to come in and they do the HV, right? All right, they still have to sit down and do the light. They have to take the test. Right. And now Now, if you have kids coming in where it's not their strong suit to be. What are you guys preparing them to pass the state exams? And that's my concern.
Great question. So we have. Let's take it all the way back to, let's say, 10th grade. So we have small and large group visits that happen at our building. We have what we call career development facilitators. They come in and they might gauge what your likes and your dislikes are. So when you come to our facility and start your journey with us, we want to already know you. And relationship is a huge piece of who we are. We want to know what you may like or not like. If you have nothing to do with cars, but you love computers, well, let's look at our information technology position versus putting you in an auto lab. And it could be vice versa. So we start out on those visits to get to know you and your programming. We then work to put you in a class that you can succeed in. So I want to talk about that test a second. So
that's a big one.
Yep, we have a lot of great industry standards and skills and state skills and business and industry skills tests that we want you to be able to pass so you can go and use those out in the industry. So we prepare you daily for those. We have really second to none the best labs in the area. The greater area of Kent County supports us through millage. And so our goal is to serve all the schools, not just public schools, but private schools, homeschool students. Those folks can all come our way and garner the benefits from our facility.
That's exciting.
So if you are a private school, and we service all the private schools, the Catholic schools, the Christian schools, they all come our way.
But homeschool is probably huge today.
Yep, and we have a great deal of our homeschool students that come and put this into their portfolio of their learning. And that's what makes KCTC great. You can sit in the morning, and some of you in here have done that, and you can see all these different students from all over our county come together. We're kind of a picture of what Grand Rapids is in a very positive way with great interactions.
Well, I wanted my son to get even away from some of the my youngest, right? Some of the people that weren't the best influence. And I was happy to start him in 11th grade. Moving, that's usually still the age?
11th grade is our starting point.
To start going to meet new people and get away from some of the people that were, he grew up with that went down the wrong path.
I respect that.
Yeah.
And we have a great deal of different types of reasons why somebody might come. And some of it could be social, emotional, such as that. A new friend group, a more diverse friend group, with maybe the same interests that they may have. Our students who are in those classes, such as graphic design, They might have the same likes. We might come from two different sides of Grand Rapids, maybe
Right.
drastically different homes and settings, but we're common in that, and we grow that friendship and move forward. I want to go back to something you said about academics. My son's in the HVAC program as well, so we share that bond, but he was talking about studying science at his local high school, and they do a great job, but it was Ohm's law specifically, which is electrical resistance. And he said in HVAC, we went over it, we learned the mathematical formulas, we talked about it, but the difference was he could go over to that lab, put testers on real furnaces,
Right.
and determine where the resistance failure was, and he said that was awesome. I wouldn't have had that experience at my local high school. And again, that is not anything against our local schools and what they're delivering. We just have the ability to go into these really nice labs that are equipped to train our students, and they can do that. And they can test Ohm's law instead of doing it on a paper test. They can do it on a physical furnace.
Not everybody that's coming to you is necessarily having difficulty in school. They might just I don't want to sit in the classroom anymore. I want to try. I want to get some experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the best thing you could do for somebody is give them experience, give them training, and if they went on to college, they could find a job quicker.
Yeah.
They could get that little, if they went to a new city, they could have something,
exactly.
right?
I will tell you that some of our students, let's take health again. Some of those students that I come across are pre-med. They know they want to go to medical school. They're 4.0 students at their local high school, but they want experience. They want some street credit. In the sense of, have you done this and have you not done this? And that's where we can separate out some of those students and give them additional skills. We have an EMT program. So you talk about going to a pre-med situation where you already have your emergency tech license and you've been around the stresses of coming up on a situation. Let's say you want to be an ER hospital doctor or a nurse. We can give you that explicit training, and so you know going into that situation. I will also say what is just as powerful is you might learn that you don't like what you want to do.
Yeah,
so,
my son did not like.
Right.
And it was you're really doing it.
Yeah.
You know, to have him in there, you had sheets of metal or whatever you guys were all dealing with that. He decided not to do that. He's in a different career, but it was the way to me. It was, we had friends that were doing that, and they were making a pretty good living. I go, wouldn't you love to live in Jenison? Wouldn't you love to live in Granville? They make pretty good living. And so he did that. And that's kind of what he didn't know what to do.
And I think for many of our students, if they're in that position, right, the classic Thanksgiving, Christmas holiday question, what are you going to do with your life from grandpa and grandma? I always tell our students,
what do you like to do?
We have an answer for you. And so if you're in 11th and 12th grade, you can say, I'm looking at my career options. And so for many of our students, let's say take construction. They might think they know they want to go into construction. If they don't, they know that now, and they haven't spent maybe $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 at a university level for undergrad courses.
Correct.
To know the same answer that we could have given them as well. And yet they walk away with some really good basic skills and knowledge. They know when they buy their first home what to look for in a foundation or framing or what their house could look like, or they know how to fix it.
Right.
And they don't have to call in the carpenter for maybe a basic level fix on that front. So I think like any educational setting, some students might love it. Some students might go, that career isn't for me, but maybe next year if they start as an 11th grader, then we do what we call a deep dive. We go in and we go, okay, why didn't you like this? Or why did you not feel this is a program you want to continue with? Let's look at the right placement so we continue to move you forward.
Because if they go into 11th grade and try it, they're able to try another one.
Yep, without a doubt. As long as they
that
pass
one.
and
Right.
academically, attendance and passing their grades is we're a high school. We're an elective. Think of us as an elective class. We're the ability for you to take maybe the morning or the afternoon or even midday. We have a first, second, and third session that those students
Now,
come
some
to
of
our
those
facility
students
for.
that are in their second year, they become kind of mentors.
Yeah, without
to
a doubt.
The people that are coming in, which is great on learning leadership skills.
It is.
Right?
It is.
How do you train another person?
Yeah.
I think if you can train somebody on what you do, you're apt to learn it and keep it going.
Studies will show
understand?
educationally that is one of the strongest ways to learn is you teaching someone else. You have to know it, but you're also valuing the other person's education. And like you're saying, this is part of our Going Pro skills as well. We want to create young professionals that can go out, shake your hand, although under COVID, maybe an elbow bump or a fist bump, but be able to speak articulately, be able to show initiative, be able to show safety and concern for others on the job, be able to know what the job safety is. You know, we have a lot of great big equipment. We have strong equipment in our facility. So we have to value safety. And if we value it in our setting, we hope that they value it out there on the workforce. I always tell our students, and this is the competitor in me, I want them to go into a job interview and have other people go, oh, that's a KCTC kid, I'm not getting this job. And I want them to know that competitively KCTC students have an upper edge or have a hand. In fact, I have a dear friend that told me on the other side of the state, our diesel tech students that get hired at these large construction facilities, both commercial and residential, that he was like, we can't beat KCTC kids. Their education is top notch, and that was frustrating to them, but we're encouraged by that competitively to give our kids an edge.
And I like the idea, I wanted my son to feel empowered when he graduated, that he had some type of skill. And the kids don't realize today, they're not learning how to take care of their car, which I know it's electronic, but even just to, just change out, rotate the tires or do brakes are pretty simple, and you can make a pretty good living, I mean, doing it for family members or whatever. And they just they have to hire everything out. They don't know how to fix a doorknob. They don't know how to do any carpentry. That's what people were saying. My husband had to learn from his dad, like took the kids on the weekend, you're going to learn this stuff or whatever. Take care of yourself. I don't think we've taught our kids how to, and it costs a fortune to figure this out.
I think like you're saying, if you have a skills edge, you have an advantage. So you have that skill that you have learned. Maybe it's changing tires, maybe it's just diagnosing what might be wrong, and that way you have a good educated guess as you go in.
So because back when I was growing up, Ken Skillson, it had kind of a bad. That wasn't a bad rap. It's the kids that didn't make it in the classroom. Went there, and is that changed at all?
It has changed immensely, and I will tell you, and I'll be very transparent. I think it is a little bit of an old stereotype that we continue to chisel away at. And we have over 2,500 students that come our way. They are fantastic students. They are driven. Many of them will tell me it's my favorite part of the day. I absolutely enjoy my home school where I come from, but I absolutely enjoy where I get to participate with students from all across the county in a subject matter that I really like. So some of the new programs that we've offered and we'll be starting up next year. This year was a little bit difficult with COVID, but as Teacher Academy.
How's that working out with COVID, right? I mean, that's hands-on training.
Yep, we had to hit pause on that just because of the visits in and out of schools. But next year we really looked at, and we had an audience that was ready for that. But we know that there's going to be a teacher shortage in the area and across the country. So we want to prepare students for that and give them those initial experiences as 11th and 12th graders, get them some college credit so when they head off to college that they know they want to be a teacher. I wanted to be an elementary teacher.
Did you really?
I did. And it was one class in college. It was music for elementary, and we had to sing roll every day. Every day. And I remember the last time I sang, "Here we are together, together." And I was done. And I knew at that moment that I wanted secondary students. And that was when I changed my direction and became a coach and became a high school teacher. So that was very pivotal for me. I wish I would have known that in 11th and 12th grade.
Right.
And I wouldn't have, spent maybe my first year and a half focused on elementary students. And
Can't wait to get out of here.
I love young kids, and I do. I love young kids, but it wasn't the career path that I want. So we want to give that opportunity to our students that come to KCTC. Give them the eye-opening opportunity that they deserve in our county.
Well, my kids are all moved out of Michigan. And currently 3 are in Chicago and 1 was in LA.
Yeah.
So when they all are throughout their early career, they're hustlers.
Yeah.
They have 2 or 3, and my son right now is delivering, not the one that went to KC, but bored on the weekends, delivering groceries.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice if they would have had like They could have went and maybe even started a little business where they switched out, like elderly people need little things done.
Yep.
Like put a new light fixture in.
Yep.
Switch out something in the bathroom, a sink or whatever, and you made a couple $100.
We have students that will come out. Maybe their love is a hobby that they want to develop, but they don't have maybe the income or the financials to purchase, let's say, a whole car. It might not be a career path that they want to take, but they want to know how to have a car. They want to know how to soup up their quad or their bike.
Yeah, really.
I grew up on a farm, so we souped up everything, right?
Exactly.
So you want those opportunities to do that. So I think some of the great stories that we have are students that use multiple programs. We have a phenomenal criminal justice program for young men and women that are heading into potential law enforcement or the legal side. That way, if they want to become a lawyer, they know what law enforcement means.
You have a legal side too?
Well, it's part of criminal justice. You have to know the laws and case law as you move forward. But I had a young person that used our aviation program out at the airport. So we have avionics, which we are the only one in the country that has a high school avionics program. We get recruits to California all the time. They do say it's hard to leave West Michigan, though. They can't pull these West Michigan kids out there. They have, but we love West Michigan and we stay in West Michigan.
Yeah, sure.
But this young man went into DNR. And so he went into the flight part of DNR.
DNR too?
We don't have DNR,
Okay.
but that's part of a criminal justice path.
Okay.
And so he took his criminal justice training, took his aviation training, and he's light years ahead to go into the aviation side of DNR and survey way up in the UP these hunting grounds that are thousands and thousands of acres by airplane.
Can you
And that was his
imagine?
that was his goal. And we were able to give him the 2 years of training to do that. So that was pretty special.
I would think. So are you guys having some of these kids, their kids are in the classroom.
Yeah.
Eventually they will be in the classroom, back or virtual. Are they seeing some of these students not coming back? I mean, they're quitting. I don't even know, what's going on out there.
Yeah, I think we really have tried our best, and we make sure that we try and engage, whether it's virtually, whether it's email, whether it's phone call, and seeing where they are at. I think all schools are really wrestling with that right now, especially at the high school level with students that are virtual and maybe don't want to engage. The nice thing about our students is 9 times out of 10 they want to engage because they chose KCTC. This was not, a choice that was given to them in the sense that they didn't make. Our students choose to come to us, so they want the certificates, they want the training because many of them are heading into the workforce, and the workforce is dealing with COVID as well. So again, we can train them under a COVID setting of how to get better during all of this. And then hopefully when things come back to normal,
I'm sure
that they
some
are
of your
even armed and
instructors
better.
that are supposed to be hands-on, they're probably bored to death at home. Honestly, I mean, and want to get back. How much staff? I mean, how many instructors do you have there?
We have just shy of 50 instructors. So we have a large amount of instructors across all of our programs. And they're doing a fantastic job of switching their classes to virtual and really working through that piece as soon as possible. I'm a people person and I need people.
And I want the students back in the classroom. I feel bad for these parents because I tried homeschooling for about a year and that wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And even though you guys are on the virtual, I had programs too for my kids to follow, but they were like, keeping them motivated was really. How are you at, what kind of records are you guys keeping for these parents that want to come to you and say, look, these kids move on to this or this, the success rate, what are you keeping for them?
So every year we do via the state, we have to, for the career tech education was what we call follow-up.
Do you follow them years down the road, right?
Yeah, it's called a follow-up, and that's exactly what it's called. It's called a follow-up survey that we try to engage nearly 80% plus of our graduates that head out, and we want to know how they're doing in the business and industry, which college courses they've taken, if they've entered into the military. So we try and engage them to make sure that we're understanding our demographic. We have business and advisory partners that partner with us every year, and we meet with them twice a year to make sure that our education is on par with what they expect. if they're expecting IT students to come out with this base set of skills, we need to be able to deliver that. So those are those measurables like you're saying. Then we keep track of certificates and skill certificates that we earn. So we keep a library of those for CNA or for culinary skills, for sanitization and OSHA, and all these certificates that these students acquire via our facility. So we keep track of those. We keep track of scholarships. We are a hub of scholarships.
Really?
We have a great deal of college
Parents love
partners.
that.
They do. They do. They love being able to get a jump start on tuition and in a career path that maybe that young lady or that young man already know that they're really dedicated to and have a sense of direction as they move forward.
And so are you are you inviting some past students in to give testimonies?
Yeah.
To go to these schools and say, you know what, you can't believe the money you can make out there.
Usually on our website we have testimonials. So our website is the techcenter.org.
Okay.
Or you can search for KCTC, Kent Career Tech Center, or you can look for the Kent ISD, and we're part of that website as well, because we're fundamentally part of the Kent ISD, which is the intermediate school district.
Right.
So we're a program of the ISD. But to your point, the best marketing is peer-to-peer, and it's word of mouth from our students, which is great. Our students go back to their local high schools and they say, why wouldn't you go to KCTC? Because we earn high school credits.
Right.
We are a senior year math. You can earn science credit. You can earn English credit. So you're still earning the credits that you need to graduate, but you're also earning the skills and career skills that could take you to college or take you immediately into a career.
We need you to bit more. We need you to train more plumbers, electrician. Have you had a plumber come to your house? I got the bill, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yep.
Plumbers, mechanics. Could you train more people
Yeah,
because there's not enough to go around?
And that's what we tell our students. We have business and industry that calls us and says, we want your next batch of students right now.
Yeah.
And so we're blessed to be able to have that supply and demand. You'll talk to industry leaders right now. Due to kind of my generation being so college driven and heavy, that a lot of their workforce is going to retire here soon, and they're going to need all of these students. So you're going to see a little bit of a pendulum swing, come back to some balance. College is still very important. And
my
skills
home's got
are
to
very
function,
important.
right? Our home has we have to have running water. We have to have a toilet that works. We have you don't realize when you own the homes, these little things, and bringing them in, and they hand over your bill. I'm like, does that say $600? Because there isn't. The guy goes, well, we're booked.
And we think about ourselves as a small community, right? We in our homes are Wi-Fi. In our homes is our kitchen. In our homes is construction. So we're a small city within a city. We want students to be able to fix all those things
hurry up.
at all different levels, at entry levels that still pay well, or if they get training and further college training as they go, that they'll be blessed
Anybody's
to be able to
thinking of the plumbing? I'm telling you, $600 to come over and did 2 things at our house, and he was out of there in 45 minutes. I said, are you kidding me?
Yep.
But that's because he said there's not enough plumbers,
Yep.
and they can pretty much.
Yep, they can name their price.
I know it. Okay, so share with us really, Ryan, tell us what something, as a parent's looking, one thing that you would probably share with them that they probably didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you shared a lot, but what they probably have no idea.
I think the most common question I get that I hit on was that parents don't know that their sons and daughters can still earn credit towards graduation of high school. I think many parents will hit pause for a second and go, boy, if they go out there, will my son still graduate on time, or will my daughter still graduate with the appropriate credits? We have great academic counselors that work parallel with our high school counselors. There is a partnership there that is so strong, and we have great students that come from all different aptitudes. We have students that are going pre-med. We have students that know explicitly what they want to do and how they want to do it, and we have nearly 2,500 students. So if you need any examples, talk to your local high school counselor. Call us. You are more than welcome to look at our website and give us a call. If you have questions, we will direct you to the right people that have answers. If you can't find somebody, come find me personally. I love chatting with people, and I will.
I'm not on social media. Trust me. No, I you know how some teachers are. Okay, real quick. Cool. Wow. I want to thank Ryan Graham.
You're welcome.
From Kent
Kent
Community
Career Tech Center.
Used to be Kill Center, let me tell you. But you guys have come a long way. So you get a hold of him, and if you want, I think you just get learning. The more, I'm telling you, the more skills you learn, the more you can do this on the side, make some money, and go on all those vacations you always want to go to, right?
And
Buy a bigger home for yourself, right?
And you can head to our website. We have all of our programs laid out there, videos for each program, testimonials, and many great examples, just so you can have confidence. In a traditional year, we would do open houses twice a year. We aren't able to do those right now, but definitely go to our website and research it. And if you,
All right, thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
so this is Pamela Keim from Grand Tech Media Business TV, and we will catch you next time. Take care, everyone.